Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner, as always. Okay, so today's episode is a pre-fight show for UFC 247, Jones versus Reyes for the UFC light heavyweight belt. And then in the co-main event, we got the women's flyweight belt on the line. So this is a quick rundown of the main card with predictions, as always. So let's get started. So the main event is for the UFC light heavyweight title. Jon Jones defending against Dominic Reyes. And I actually have Jon Jones finishing Dominic Reyes. I thought about this. I was like, well, could this go to a decision and Jon Jones win a decision? I think Jon Jones gets a finish here. I think the takedown defense just will not hold up for Dominic Reyes, unfortunately for him. And I think Jon Jones will eventually look for some takedowns. And I'll say, rear naked choke, round 3 win for Jon Jones. I think Jon Jones will wear him out, take him to the ground, and then work a submission game. I think he knows he can out wrestle him. Chris Weidman was able to take him down, so I think Jon Jones will definitely be able to take him down. And so I think this will be a pretty easy win for Jon Jones, and unfortunate loss for Dominic Reyes. But it'll be interesting to see if there is an upset. We'll see. Nothing against Dominic Reyes. I think he's a talented fighter, and I think he will learn a lot from this fight. Then in the co-main event, in the women's UFC flyweight title fight, we have Valentina Shevchenko defending the belt against Katlyn Chookagian. Now, you know what? Now, Katlyn Chookagian, she got this title shot off of a prelim win that was on UFC Fight Pass at UFC 244. And she beat Jennifer Maia to get this title shot by unanimous decision. And Maia even missed weight and she still won. I think that Katlyn Chookagian will be one of the toughest tests for Valentina Shevchenko. And I think that I think Shevchenko gets a win by decision, 3 rounds to 2. I could see Katlyn winning 1 or 2 rounds on points due to strikes. I think Valentina will not take this to the ground and just outpoint her on strikes and win a decision here. But I think it'll be a tough, hard-fought fight. Could be wrong. This is one of those fights where I actually think that it can go the case of this is a clean sweep for Katlyn and she wins by an upset, or Valentina wins as expected. So this is going to be a fun fight. I think this is a close, even, well-matched fight. The matchmakers did a good job here. And not that they didn't do a good job on the main event, but this is even closer of a match. But anyways, then in the heavyweight division, we have Juan Adams versus Justin Tafa. Juan Adams, he's fought, his fair share of big names in Greg Hardy and Aran Buller and Chris De La Rocha. But with that said, I think Justin Tafa hasn't fought the experienced guys as much as Juan Adams. So I think Juan Adams gets it done here. And I think he gets it done by knockout in the first round. Then in the featherweight division, we have Mirsad Bektic versus Dan Ige. This one I went back and forth on. But I think, Dan Ige can get it done here. I think his ground game's solid enough. And if he can go toe-to-toe with Kevin Aguilar, former LFA featherweight champ, then I think he can go toe-to-toe with just about anyone. So I got Dan Ige winning a decision here. Possibly a split decision, I say 2 rounds to 1 for Dan Ige. I could see takedowns on both sides and submission attempts on both sides. They're both well-rounded fighters and can mix things up very well. But I got Dan Ige winning I would imagine a lot of guys would have him as an underdog because Mirsad Bektik has a lot of hype around him. So I could imagine people seeing Dan Ige's underdog here, but I got Dan Ige winning. But it's going to be a tough fight. Then in the heavyweight division to kick off the main card, we have Derek Lewis versus Ilir Latifi. And, you know, Derek Lewis has fought for the UFC heavyweight belt. And, you know, I think Ilir Latifi could take Derek Lewis to the ground, but I think Derek Lewis can pop up. And I think eventually Derek Lewis will knock out Ilir Latifi by, I say, third round knockout. So there you have it. There's my predictions for this card. Stay tuned for my post-fight show in the coming days. And you got Lauren Murphy versus Andrea Lee, KGB Lee, in the ESPN prelims. That's going to be good. And Andre Ewell versus Jonathan Martinez. That is a great bantamweight bout. Andre, LFA veteran. And so a lot of good matchups on this one. Anyways, so check out the prelims. And as always, until then, see ya.